everyone, it's Stacy here. There's a great topic come to my mind these days, which is if you are planning to do business with China, one of the key decisions you have to make is how do you enter this market. If you want to do business with China but you have no idea where to start, one of the most common mistakes founders usually make is assuming there's only one way to enter. Because in reality, how you structure your business matters just as much as what business you are building. Many founders mainly focus on the opportunity, especially if they have had successful experience in more than one country. It's easy to assume this is just another market with huge potential, the big market size, the manufacturing power, and the speed. But what founders often overlook is just how different the system in China actually is and how that affects everything that comes after. When you operate a business in mainland China, you are not just entering a market. It feels like you are entering an entirely different ecosystem, like a new planet. Payments don't work the same way. Instead of traditional international systems, most transactions run through platforms like WeChat Pay and Alipay. Marketing doesn't happen through the same channel either. There's no Google Ads, no email campaign, no Instagram or WhatsApp. Everything is built inside platforms like WeChat, Rednote, and Douyin. Even basic business functions like invoicing, contracts, and tax reporting follow local systems that don't always align with how global business operates. So the challenging isn't just can you enter China, it's how do you operate across completely different systems. And depending on where your business is based, these challenges can show up very differently. So the next questions become, what kind of founder are you? If you live in mainland China, you are hiring locally, your customers are local, you get paid locally, and you operate locally, then you are solving a local operation problem. In that case, even the operations can be challenging, but building your systems fully within China ecosystem is still a better option in the long term. But if your company is based overseas, your team is distributed, your capital is offshore, and China is only one part of a broader international business, then you're not only solving a China entry problem, you're solving a cross-border business problem. So this shows up across many common types of founders, whether you are building a SaaS platform with a global team, running an e-commerce business sourcing from China, or you're working as a consultant or agency across markets, or you're managing a trading business where suppliers are in China but revenue comes from overseas. You might also still be exploring China but not fully committing yet. But you're testing suppliers, partnership, or marketing opportunities before you're making a big move. And across all of these cases, the challenging isn't just about operating in China, but how your business is set up to work within different systems. Not every founder should enter China the same way. The real question is how you structure your business from the beginning. And this is where things get interesting, because if you are not based in mainland China and you don't have the time or resources to fully understand how the local system works, then the question becomes, how do you actually work with China from the outside? There isn't just one answer to this. In practice, founders usually approach this in a few different ways. Some of them, they choose to go fully local and build everything inside mainland China. This can be a strong approach if you are committed to the market, because it gives you full control over operations, direct access to local platforms, and a deeper understanding of how things actually work on the ground. But it also requires a significant investment of time and resources. From researching regulations and preparing documentation to setting up a local company identity, and you have opened a local bank account and building a presence across local platforms. And in many cases, this can take months, especially if you are navigating the process for the first time. So while it gives you control, but it also means committing to the time and effort needed to navigate the system and get everything set up properly within local requirements. Others rely heavily on local partners or intermediaries. This can be an efficient way to get started, especially if you don't have a local knowledge or networks, because experienced partners can help you navigate the market much faster. But the trade-off here isn't just about the commission. In many cases, strong local partners may ask for exclusivity, which means you may lose visibility in other potential opportunities in this market. Your access to information, follow-ups, and execution is now filtered through your partners. More importantly, your risk shifts from execution to information, because you are now relying on how accurate and effective that local insights actually is. And in many cases, you may still depend on your local partners to communicate or follow up with your customers, maybe due to the language barrier, which means you don't always have full visibility into the actual execution quality. And if you only realize it after 1 or 2 years that the partnership isn't working as expected, you have already paid the cost in timing. In a market like China, where speed and timing matter a lot, that kind of delay can be very expensive, especially when your competitors are already operating smoothly. Except these two commonly used ways, there are also a method is that some businesses choose to structure their business outside mainland China but still allows them to work closely with it. Business in this type, they choose an indirect strategy instead of trying to operate entirely inside one system. Their strategy is to design a way to connect two different systems together. One of the most commonly used setup for this is to building their company through Hong Kong, because Hong Kong operates very differently from mainland China. As an internationally recognized business hub, the legal and financial system of Hong Kong are much more familiar to global founders. At the same time, the business policies of Hong Kong are closely connected and strong tied to mainland China, which makes it a practical base for working with global clients and partners across both markets. So through a Hong Kong identity, many foreign founders effectively create a kind of buffer layer for their business. They are able to manage the contracts and the payments and the financial structure in a system that they feel more familiar, less language barrier, and internationally aligned, while their actual operations can still involve China. I know this may sound a bit abstract if you are not familiar with this kind of structure, so here's what it actually looks like in practice. If you are running an e-commerce or dropshipping business, you might be selling to customers globally while your sourcing products is from China. Your orders and your suppliers and the logistics are happening in China, but your revenue is coming from different markets. In this case, your Hong Kong company becomes the place where you can collect payments, manage your cash flow, and keep your financials organized across platforms. So if you are in trading or import and export, you are paying suppliers in China while you are receiving your payments from overseas clients. Money is constantly moving across currencies, and in this case, your money can get messy quickly, so your Hong Kong identity becomes the central point where you can handle transactions, track margins, and keep everything structured. If you are building a SaaS product or a tech startup, Your users, team, and even investors might be in different countries. You need a structure that allows you to operate globally from day one without being tied to one local system. In this case, a Hong Kong company gives you a base to manage your contracts, your subscriptions, and revenue across market, while still working with China when needed. If you are a consultant, agency, or you are running a remote service business, your clients may be international, but part of your execution, whether it's production, customer support, or collaboration, may still also involve China. So your Hong Kong identity becomes the layer where you can handle your contract, receive payments, and manage your business financially. So your operation is still flexible. So that's really how the Hong Kong identity works in practice. It sits in the middle, manage contracts, payments, and financial operations, while the China side stays part of the actual business execution. And once this structure is in place, the focus naturally shifts to how do you manage it day to day. This is where even founders who have set things up properly still start to feel the pressure, because running a cross-border business means dealing with different systems, requirements, and a lot of moving parts at once. No founder is a Superman for everything. You might understand your business, but accounting, compliance, and financial management across countries, that's a different game. You might have professional employees in all these areas, but they may not familiar with a completely different set of rules and processes released to China. So the question becomes, how do you keep everything running smoothly without handling every detail by yourself? Delegating these parts to the right support can free up a lot of your time and energy. So many founders start working with professional services built specifically for this, such as Awesome. Use a Hong Kong company to do business with China while stay globally compliant. Manage your company from anywhere while Awesome handles your accounting and compliance, so you can focus on growing your business across the market. Awesome is basically like all-in-one system. It supports you from setting up your company all the way to handling operations and taxes, and everything runs digitally. So the main advantage of an all-in-one digital system is that it saves you a lot of time. You can manage everything in a personalized dashboard, so you can quickly see what's going on, stay on top of your tasks, and keep everything on track. If it's your first time, just click Get Started, and this page will get you step by step to set up your business, which is pretty easy. Yes, you can incorporate your Hong Kong company 100% remotely. You don't need to live or be in Hong Kong. Just follow the steps and fill in your information, and your company is ready to go. You will also have a human accountant who knows your business and can support you through chat or video call. Awesome partners with trusted globally recognized banks like Aspire and Airwallex. You can also sync your account with Stripe or PayPal. The accountant can also help you track your transactions and make sure everything is error-free. If you need to create invoices for customers, just fill in the details and click to send directly. You can also check your financial data here and they support ready-to-go reports. You will have things like a P&L statement, so you can clearly see how your business is performing. So that's a quick look at how it works. With Awesome, you don't have to juggle multiple service providers. Everything is managed in one place. If you are building across markets and want a simple way to manage everything, you can check out the link below. You will get 60% off only if you register through the link and set up your Hong Kong company with Awesome. There's no single right way to enter China. Some founders go fully local, some work through partners, and some structure their business through Hong Kong. But what really matters is your business model and your plan. Once that is clear, choosing the right setup from the beginning can help you avoid unnecessary restructuring later and shape how smoothly you can operate a core system and how far you can scale over time. Hope this video can help you think more clearly before making a big move. If you found it helpful, click like, subscribe, and if one day you succeed, come back and tell me.